Alright guys, hey, thanks for joining me today. Soybean cyst nematodes. Can we solve them using soil health practices? Yes we can. Yes we can. 100% we can. Can we solve them using conventional programs? No we can't. Soybean cyst nematodes live up to 10 years, and it was the conventional system that brought us soybean cyst nematodes. Mother Nature just didn't here you go, here's a bunch of extra soybean nematodes. That's not Mother Nature. Mother Nature will find her own ways, like ground cover. Ground needs to be covered. So when we had when soybeans came in, we had some early season weed control. And what happened? We had late season weeds. So we get some late season weed control. What happens? We have later season weeds and different weeds and stronger weeds. Biennials and perennials start to show up. Dandelions, water hemp, palmer. Mother Nature wants ground covered. She has seeds out there. It's just the more we think we can control it, the more she's just saying like, you can't. I want ground covered. I win. Soybean cyst nematode isn't an issue like that. Soybean cyst nematode, in my opinion, is a byproduct of conventional farming, big ag, factory farming. I hate that term. But it's true. That's where it comes from. How does soybean cyst nematode live? By having soil that's unhealthy and creating an environment for the soybean cyst nematode to thrive in, making it the hunter and not the hunted. There's our problem. And what's going on in a conventional farm? So in the fall time, we take our case 870 or 875 because that's the only disc ripper in America. And we lift and we heave and we fracture our soil, and we mix in all our residue, and we burn up all our organic matter, we flush our CO2, we expose ourselves to wind and water erosion. Come springtime, we have all our residue blowing across the fields and filling the ditches, all our soil and snert filling the ditches. So all the good stuff because we did fracture that soil. Well, we fractured it because we kept tilling it last year to create a compaction problem this year, so we had to till it again. But tillage works here. So we do this, and this is what's happening to our bug life. All our good fungi and bacteria and all that, they're all dead and trying to just recover. So come springtime, following corn, we follow corn with soybeans. But on a conventional farm, if you have a field that has a high pressure of soybean cyst nematodes on it, following corn, we're going to use soybeans. Makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't we? Except we're going to pay an extra fee to run a nemicide, which is not cheap, and we're going to cover a lot of acres with that nemicide when the soybean cyst problem is small patches in a field, not broad acre. And we're going to pay a premium for a seed, again, to bring up them spots. And we're going to justify it at the cafe because we're going to say, well, we treated that little spot, and them spots a couple years ago had 0 soybeans, and now that we use nemicide and we use this new hybrid plant, that area came up, to almost full potential. Did it? How's the cash flow working? On $7 or $8 beans, who's paying for all the tillage, fuel, labor to replace the horsepower, to replace the tillage, to maintain the tillage, to pay the insurance and the premiums or the interest? And then now you have to pay extra for another chemical to put in the soil and more fungicide applications and then a premium on a plant. Or we can do a soil health remedy. Soil health remedy, the biggest thing is we're going to stop the environment for the soybean cyst nematode to thrive. So could we still do a corn-soybean rotation? Yes. Was it ideal? No. But it could work, or it will work. It just takes longer. If we do a complete soil health scenario minus cattle, you'll be back in action in 5-7 years, pretty easy. Not the most convenient to a corn and soybean guy, but you have 2 options. Keep doing what you're doing to get into this mess and hoping by keep doing the same thing you're going to get out of the mess, or change so you're not living the definition of insanity. You change your brain is the biggest obstacle to success, and you change your system up and you create an environment that hosts many other hunters so the soybean cyst nematode becomes the prey, and then you will lower that population. That's how Mother Nature works in it. This guy, he isn't doing anything. Death does not promote life. Life promotes life. We have nematodes. Soybean cyst nematodes will be eaten by other nematodes. There's hundreds and hundreds of these different species of nematodes for every soybean cyst nematode, and they'll find that balance. Our fungi has its hyphae, and it will wrap up and lasso the soybean cyst nematode, and it will kill it and eat it. And so but we have a lot of side effects. So when you start going down the soil health, you're going to have to put up with better water infiltration, less erosion. Your residue isn't going to be blown across the field. You have to start calling your dirt, you have to start referring it to as soil, and you have to start treating it like something. Eventually you're going to have less fertilizer input costs, you're going to have less fungicide costs, less weed and chemical costs for herbicide, insecticides. Right off the bat, you're going to have tremendously lower investment in equipment and direct crop expense on the horsepower and mechanical side. So you just have to put up with all them side effects of soil health farming. And you could use, when you come back to soybeans, you could use an open pollinated or type soybean that you could actually save the seed over if you really wanted to. But, you know, I don't know, $10 an acre seed to grow 40 bushel beans in this program versus with no fungicides or very minimal fungicide and very minimal insecticide and very little weed control spray, because we've got cover crops growing in between. We're just putting weeds out there that we want before Mother Nature gives us weeds she wants. Versus down here, you're spending $50 to $60 an acre on seed, another $10 on a nematicide, another $10 on a fungicide, you know, plus the application equipment and the physically go do it. Contrary to popular belief, you cannot spray insecticide for $1 because the insecticide costs $1. You have a few cents of fuel costs and equipment and repairs to spray them products. So, yep, if you can get by all the side effects of the soil health system, you can fix your soybean cyst nematode issue. It's just, are you willing to get by this biggest obstacle that you have, this thing? So I guess, you know what? Hey, let's just end it right there. Let's just end it right there. Good conversation. Keep the conversation going below. Guys, let me know what you thought. Did it make any sense? Am I just jibber-jabbering or whatever? And thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.